Ever heard that story about the Mars rover? The one that almost missed a huge GG scientific discovery because its sensors, they were totally overwhelmed by dust storms.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember hearing about that one. What happened?
Turns out, a human looking at the data, just a regular person, probably would have caught it right away. And that, my friend, is the really captivating premise behind Project Cider. It's all about using our own eyes and our brains as this massive, always-on network to spot the things tech might miss.
What I think is so fascinating about cider is that it recognizes this thing we often forget, which is that human perception is incredibly powerful. It's not about, replacing all the satellites, all the radar.
Mm.
It's about adding this constant, adaptable layer of observation, one that only biology can really provide.
Okay, so let's kind of unpack this biological detection network idea for a second. It sounds kind of sci-fi, right?
It does, a little bit, yeah. But think about this. Our eyes, they can adjust from staring at a phone screen inside in a dimly lit room to the midday sun outside
Yeah,
instantly.
yeah.
That dynamic range. Most sensors really struggle with that, even with all of our modern tech advancements.
Whoa, yeah, that's a good point. I never really thought about it like that, but we really take our amazing eyesight for granted.
Exactly. And it's not even just about the light sensitivity. Imagine for a second you're at an air show and there are dozens of planes zipping around. Your brain filters out all the expected stuff, right? But if something truly weird appeared, something unexpected, you'd notice it right away, instantly.
Mm.
Humans are just hardwired for that kind of pattern recognition. It's something that even the absolute best algorithms are still trying to replicate, still trying to catch up.
So it's almost like we've got this built-in system for spotting anomalies.
Precisely. And here's where it gets really interesting. Let's say you see a flash of light in the sky. Was it a reflection, a bird, maybe just a trick of the light? Our brains, they factor in all that context without us even thinking about it, time of day, weather, even what we expect to see to help make sense of it all. That level of nuanced data processing, that's something sensors just can't match.
So, okay, we've got 8 billion people walking around with these crazy, incredible anomaly detection systems just in our heads. But CIDR isn't just about individual sightings, right? It's about connecting all those dots together on a global scale, isn't it?
You got it. That's the real key.
Yeah.
Because unlike a radar station, which is kind of stuck in one place, with CIDR, we have people covering basically every corner of the globe, different angles, times of day, all kinds of weather conditions.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of observational diversity, that's just invaluable. You can't really get that any other way.
Okay, yeah, I get that it's way more coverage than anything else could give you. But how does CIDR actually leverage all of that data? Is it just tons of people emailing in blurry photos and hoping for the best, hoping the scientists can make sense of it all?
Not at all. That's where the more technological side of things comes in. Basically, CIDR takes our smartphones and uses them as the bridge, between what our eyes are seeing and what researchers can actually sit down and analyze.
And that's what's so fascinating to me. So tell me, what is this bridge?
Think of it as giving your phone this superpower upgrade, turning it into an actual scientific instrument.
Okay, I am so here for the superpower upgrade. Tell me more.
So picture this. You're out, right? And you use the CIDR app to report something you see, a potential sighting. But it's not just snapping a photo. It's not that simple. The app is recording your exact GPS coordinates, the time, even stuff like which way your phone was pointing and how fast you were moving when you took the picture. All that gets logged.
Wait, so why all the extra data? It just seems like, I don't know, overkill, maybe. If all someone needs is to see a picture, a photo of the thing in the sky, why does it matter?
See, that's the thing. It's not overkill at all. Because all that extra information, that's what really helps researchers, helps them filter out all the false positives. Let's say your phone was bouncing around in your hand because you were moving quickly when you took the picture, right?
Yeah.
Could just be a bird or a plane, something totally normal that just looks strange because of the motion blur.
Ah, that makes a lot of sense. So it's about providing all the context, just like our brains do naturally, but without even thinking about it.
Exactly. But CIDR, it goes even further than that. Let's just imagine for a second that you and I are a few blocks apart, okay? We both have the app, we're both outside, and we both report seeing something unusual, something weird in the sky, within a few minutes of each other. The system, it instantly correlates our two reports. It flags them as something potentially significant, something that needs a closer look.
It's like that saying, how does it go? Something like one data point is just an anecdote, but multiple data points, that's a pattern. Except in this case, instead of relying on chance encounters or fuzzy memories, we've got this system, this incredible system that can connect those dots instantly in real time. And that just changes everything. This is pretty wild when you think about it, turning our smartphones into like scientific instruments for this giant global sky watching network. It's kind of mind blowing. But let's talk about the what if it actually works part of this whole thing. Like, assuming CIDR really takes off, what could it really mean? I mean, beyond just spotting UAPs, right?
Honestly, that's what I find the most exciting. Just imagine this kind of real-time, like crowdsourced data, but it's being used to track the very first signs of a wildfire, for example.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. People on the ground, maybe miles apart, they could report seeing those first wisps of smoke, way before anyone else, giving firefighters a huge head start.
Wow, I have to admit, I hadn't even considered that. It would be like having thousands of extra pairs of eyes on the ground all over the place, able to alert someone, the authorities, to all kinds of situations as they're developing.
Exactly. Think about like search and rescue missions, trying to find someone who's lost. Instead of relying only on helicopters, which can only see so much anyway, imagine a whole network of people in the area, all contributing, adding their observations through this app. The chances of finding that missing person in time, well, they increase exponentially, wouldn't they?
It really drives home the point that sometimes the most groundbreaking tools, they're not some new fancy gadget or anything, but it's about finding new ways, really innovative ways to leverage what's already out there. Like in this case, it's the power of just human observation, plain and simple, but combined with this interconnected world we live in now.
It's true. It's a powerful reminder that we're not just passive observers in this universe.
Yeah.
Not at all. We can be active participants in making a scientific discovery. And who knows what we might find when we combine that very human curiosity, that drive to explore, with the reach of technology like CIDR.
So true. So, to everyone listening, next time you're outside, just take a moment, look up at the sky, and I mean, really look. You might be surprised at what you notice when you start paying attention, when you're really looking for something. And if you do happen to see something unusual, well, now you know there's a whole global network out there, people like you, and they're ready to listen. Who knows? You might just be the one to make the next big discovery. This has been such a fascinating deep dive, and we really encourage you to learn more about Project CIDR and the incredible potential of citizen science. Until next time, keep those minds curious.